After several decades of accomplishments by James K. Polk, it is sad to say that he has passed on. He died just the other day, June 15, 1849, only a few months after retiring from office. Polk was the 11th President of the United States, and most believed he was the only strong president between Andrew Jackson and Abraham Lincoln. He was even possibly the most effective chief executives in American history. James K. Polk was born on November 2, 1795 in North Carolina. He graduated from the University of North Carolina and soon after developed a friendship with Andrew Jackson. In 1824, he served 2 terms in the Tennessee legislature and was later elected to the House of Representatives as a Jacksonian Democrat. In 1835, Polk became the Speaker of the House and earned himself the reputation as the industrious Democrat. In 1844, Polk emerged as a candidate for president. Martin Van Buren seemed like an obvious choice for the Democratic candidate, but Andrew Jackson persuaded party leaders that Polk would be able to defeat the other party's candidate, Henry Clay. This was because Polk supported the annexation of Texas and Oregon. Exactly as Jackson predicted, when Clay was asked on his standing on the territories, he refused to say anything. Polk, however, did take a stand on the topic, and the voters were impressed. Polk won the election with 170 electoral votes, as opposed to Clay's 105. In his inauguration in 1845, Polk said he would accomplish 4 things during his presidency. 1, a reduction of the tariff, another, the independent treasury, a third, the settlement of the Oregon boundary question, and lastly, the acquisition of California. He achieved all 4 points he mentioned in his speech in his single 4-year term. One of the very first things Polk did was inform Britain on his willingness to settle the Oregon boundary dispute at the 49th parallel. The Oregon Territory had been jointly occupied by the 2 countries as a result of their inability to resolve their separate claims to the area. The British insisted that the Columbia River be the boundary, but Polk wouldn't budge. In fact, after the British rejected his offer, he took a bolder position by insisting that the 5440 line be the boundary. This made war seem likely. However, in 1846, after much controversy and the Oregon Treaty, the border was settled on the 49th parallel. Slightly before the Oregon Territory boundary was resolved, Polk ordered General Zachary Taylor to take American troops into the disputed Rio Grande region of Texas. In fact, the Mexican-American War had already begun when Polk received news of Britain's acceptance to the 49th parallel. Fortunately, the country overwhelmed Mexico during 1846 to 1847. In 1848, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo was issued. In it, Mexico recognized the Rio Grande as the southern border of Texas, and it gave control of New Mexico and California to the United States. All of this was in exchange for $15 million from the United States. An excerpt from the treaty is, "There shall be firm peace between the United States of America and the Mexican Republic, and between their respective countries, territories, cities, towns, and people, without exception of places or persons." The treaty added about 525,000 more square miles of land to the United States territory. James K. Polk's death is such a big deal because he made lots of decisions regarding acquiring new territory. In the 1800s, visions of the U.S. changed. Many believed that the mission of the U.S. was to spread freedom by occupying the whole continent. Our manifest destiny is to overspread the continent allotted by Providence for the free development of our yearly multiplying millions, as John O'Sullivan wrote in his newspaper. This is exactly how the United States developed during Polk's term. The idea of manifest destiny fueled westward expansion and the acquisition of territories in that area. James K. Polk played a crucial part in the development of the United States, and he will definitely never be forgotten.